Merry Christmas. For those of you who haven't seen this before, I am Lisbeth. I am in Norway, and I am responsible for the whole Nordic Education Center for Dog Trainers. We are just in between Christmas celebrations and New Year's celebrations, so how we can celebrate New Year's the best way we can with our dogs. So I even have a PowerPoint for you tonight, and as you can see, I have my my little Santa here, lights in the window. Since I'm living in the north of Norway, it's pretty much dark like this 24/7 at the moment, so we need a lot of lights inside our houses, which is nice too. So we are going to talk about what we can do for our dogs if they are scared of fireworks. However, trauma and those kind of things, we're not going to go into that here. If you do want to learn more about trauma, and especially puppies, I really recommend Amber Batson's puppy course, which is now online. So that's a good class. Also, we do trauma very, very like briefly on our introductory level 1 course, and of course for our level 4 on our dog trainer school. So if you want to know more about traumas and so on. But I'm going to give you some advice about how you can prepare your dog for the fireworks. These are general advice that I give out tonight. Let's see if I can get the PowerPoint. Let's just start. So, Happy New Year, or is it? And I was thinking about the dogs. For a lot of dogs, New Year's celebrations aren't really the best time of their lives, okay? But Happy New Year for dogs. I'm sure a lot of them will be very happy when the New Year's is over. Actually, quite a lot of dogs are afraid of fireworks. In various degrees. Some are a little bit scared or nervous, just feeling uncomfortable, and some dogs really have a trauma out of this. So this is in general what we can do. If you have a dog that is traumatized, there's nothing you can do about it today. Preparing for fireworks in a couple of days, sorry to say. The best thing you can do is to, if you have the possibility, to go away to a place where less or no fireworks. Since I'm talking to all places all over the world, some of you are living in big cities, some of you live on mountaintops, I'm sure, and some of you right in between. So really, I do appreciate that you're not all able to just escape to your little cabin in the middle of nowhere, which we are doing quite a lot here in Norway. I do understand that can be a problem, so that's why we need to find the second best options. Okay, first one is to, of course, not leave your dog home alone, and I don't recommend that for any dog, even though you are sure he won't be afraid of hot fireworks. Things can happen. It can be one of the fireworks are really close to the house and it comes sudden noises, or even through the window. I'm not scaring you now, but in all circumstances, do not leave your dog home alone. That's my advice. I would never, ever do that. I'm always home with my dogs for New Year. That's kind of a tradition. I don't mind. I really don't mind. I kind of enjoy it, actually. So I'm home alone with my dogs for New Year's Eve, always. And I, being a crazy dog woman, I sometimes, quite often to be honest, prefer the company of my dogs. Okay. New Year's, is that the day? Well, the 31st of December in the morning. You should walk your dog in the morning. Let him or her get some mental activities. Mental activities, because using your brain makes you tired. makes you tired, so you want to sleep. If you're jogging or running, that's good for exercise and stuff, but it's not making you tired the same way as mental exercise. So exercising both physically and mentally is good. So do a nice walk in the morning before the fireworks starts. I know there's always some, depending on, again, which country you live in, but here in Norway, it's actually the law saying that we cannot send up fireworks other than between early in the evening and 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. or something. But we are private people in Norway. Private people are sending up their fireworks, so you can't really regulate what they are doing, especially when they're drinking a bit. So you can never know when there will be a firework in Norway, at least for that day. But the earlier during the day you are doing your walk, the less chance it is for any fireworks. So go for a nice walk in the morning, do some mental activities to illustrate different things that we see as mental activities. It's things that your dog likes and enjoys to do, and have to concentrate and think a little bit to do. Because thinking is mental activities. So, for example, take your dog to a new place. It doesn't have to be very far away. It's just a place that you don't go very often or never been. If you have the possibility, take your dog in your car and drive somewhere that you haven't been before. It could be an empty parking lot with a lot of smells. It could be any place, really, any place. There will be a lot of good, enjoyable smells for your dog. So here are pictures about balancing. Now you can see on the picture on the right there that this dog is really, really good at balancing. So do not expect your dog to do that if he's not trained for it. And certainly if there's something with his or her body that makes it difficult for him to do this kind of balancing. But walking in different stairs, different like the grass, asphalt, different. The woods are actually the best when you think about the movements of your dog, but different smells, different areas, different materials, and so on is good for your dog. You can also make a sausage or a pancake tree. Here you can see we have both pancakes. I don't know if you can see it, but there are pancakes and hot dogs on some branches on a tree. And yes, I wish we could grow them, grow them like that, but we have to make them ourselves. And the point of this is just to do something different. The smell is above the dog instead of on the ground. And again, let your dog figure it out. Do not show your dog this. I know this is very tempting, but don't show your dog where the smell comes from. It might take a while, especially the first time, because they're not used to having the smell coming from above. But that is the mental activity, is to find out where the smell is coming from and trust your dog to find out by himself. Because dogs have an excellent sense of smell and they will find out, but you need to have patience. So if it takes a few minutes, don't worry, that is part of the mental activity for your dog. And if you are like me, you probably enjoy watching your dog having fun as well. And a dog smelling, using their nose, is having fun because they're born to do it. They love doing it. If you are inside, if you don't want to or you can't go outside, you can fill a box with different things that your dog can chew, smell, taste, lick, whatever they want to do. Here is just some newspaper. You can put a sock in there, or a couple of socks. You can fill the socks with some good things to eat. It could also be his food, some part of his food. Different textures, different exciting things for your dog to just mess with let them have a good time enjoying the smells of these boxes. I don't have a picture of this, but now it's winter time, at least here in this part of the planet. And what you can do if you have a towel or a sheet that you're no longer using, depending on the size of the dog as well, you can use a small towel or a big one. What I usually do when I'm throwing away towels or sheets, I actually put them in my washing machine and then tumble dry. So they're all quite wet. And then I put, now I'm thinking that I'm talking international, so I'm not sure if you have the same thing. Some bread spread we use in Norway is made of liver pate. I'm sure a lot of you knows about it. And in Norway, we also eat some fish and tomato sauce on our bread. Dogs love that. So, or you can use cheese as well. Yeah, I'm talking about things that you can actually spread onto the sheet or the towel now. Okay. You can, of course, use small bites of hot dogs and so on, but spreading on the sheet is just a different thing to do again, because then the dog have to lick. Okay, so you spread cheese or liver pate or whatever you have that your dog likes, and which is of course safe for your dog, on the towel or the sheet, and you put it all together like a ball. And depending on where you are in this world, but if you are in my part of the world, you just leave it outside during the night and it freezes. If it's warm where you are, you put it in the freezer. So the next morning you have a big bowl with lots of nice smells and something your dog wants to lick because it tastes good. And that's also mental activity. So that's a tip from me. This is me walking my dogs. Just where I used to live before I moved up here. It was a small town in Norway, 30,000 people, so quite a small center of the town. I always stop and let them smell, let them try to touch or to even walk on various materials, as you can see. So this is just part of our walk, yeah, exploring. So that's what you should do as well. Not only New Year's, but every day, actually. Again, more pictures. This is my dogs as well. We were stopping at a place that just had, the day before, they had something called Children's Play Day. So there were not anymore. Rabbits, ponies, chickens, all kinds of animals. And of course, the kids had been eating ice cream and hot dogs. So there were a lot of leftovers on the ground and a lot of smells from humans and from different animals. So this is a typical place where you can find a lot of smells for your dog. And also, it's important to always let your dog wear a harness. We recommend using harness. And of course, also a long lead. Minimum 3 meters. I would say 5 for these kind of walks. And if you're doing this kind of walk on purpose, I mean, if it's not just something you do along your normal daily walk, remember to take some water for your dog as well, because they do get quite thirsty by using their nose a lot. Okay. Back to New Year, or continuing New Year celebration. It could be helpful to feed your dog early during the day, because a tired dog and a full dog will relax better. Also, there are some things that you can buy depending on which country you live in, but here in Scandinavia, we get them at the pharmacy or the vet. It's called DAP, Adaptil, and lavendel oil. lavender, sorry. Now I did the Norwegian lavender oil, or even the plant lavender, has actually been proven in some studies to have even better effect than DAP or Adaptil, the hormones. The hormones on a box. So I'm thinking it's worth trying out, because lavender plants are nice and they smell nice for us as well. So why not keep a couple of them in the house? So you can always try that out. It's not something that will do miracles usually, but it might help. So you can try it out. Okay, if your dog is afraid, don't ever punish your dog for being afraid. You cannot punish fear. It's as simple as that. It does not help to punish fear. So don't get angry, don't get irritated. And your dog can show his nervousness or being afraid in a lot of different ways. And that's why you need to know the dog's calming and distance increasing signals. For example, a dog that is growling is doing that because he's afraid of something. So you might think that your dog is angry, but in reality, he is afraid. So don't punish your dog for being afraid, not verbally and not physically, none of it. Help him instead. And slow strokes on the chest of the dog. For a lot of dogs, this is very calming movements on the chest. Not for all, but again, I'm just giving you tips that you can try out on your own dog. You have to, again, watch and observe your dog if he likes it or not. Hopefully, you know a bit of the calming signals. If you don't, you should get to know them so you can see if your dog is really enjoying your ways of touching him. Also, a lot of what, not a lot, everything we do is affecting our dogs. Because they read us, they smell us, they smell our stress hormones even. They smell and see much more than we do. So if you are nervous about your dog being nervous on New Year's Eve, I can almost guarantee that you get a nervous dog. However, it's kind of difficult to pretend you're not nervous. I tried, and I cannot fool my dogs. So you need to do things to calm yourself down if you are afraid that your dog will be nervous. Maybe you have a puppy or a young dog, and this is his first New Year's Eve, and you don't know if your dog will be nervous. I would claim that there's no reason for you to stop being nervous of your dog maybe getting nervous on New Year's Eve. Yeah. Actually, you should just relax, enjoy, and pretend everything is normal, because it is until it's proven that your dog is actually scared. What you probably shouldn't do, though, is to take your dog outside to watch the fireworks. Again, some dogs really don't care. I've had dogs that really don't care. We go outside on the balcony for New Year's. They follow us. They want to be outside. They really don't care. Typically, I'm not going to make this into anything breed specific, but I have Basset hounds, and lovely dogs. They're very relaxed all the time, pretty much. And I have my 4th Basset hound, and typically the Bassets, they sleep through it. They really don't mind. And then I have other dogs that are a bit more scared, and some dogs that has been pretty traumatized. So, like I said, it's very different how they react. You can cover your windows with curtains or blinds if you are I would, again, if you're not sure if your dog is afraid, I wouldn't really do a lot of these things. I wouldn't cover the windows. I would not take my dog outside, but I would not cover my windows. If you see that there could be a problem, then you can pull the curtains. The thing with fireworks is that it's the smell. No, sorry, yeah, it's the smell too, actually, but it's the sounds paired up with lights on the sky. So that's why for some dogs, for quite a lot of dogs actually, it's not working perfectly to just use, you know, the CDs with the fireworks sounds, because there are no lights then. It's just the sound. And midnight, New Year's, they're both smell, sound, light. Play calming music, especially for yourself. If you're a little bit nervous that your dog will be nervous, then I would play some calming music. It's always nice for you and your dog. And again, be with your dog. Be together with your dog. If your dog wants to hide, that's okay. Let him hide. If your dog wants to go underneath the couch or your bed or even into your bathroom and hide, that's okay. Let him do that. Don't get on all four and try to pull your dog coming out. Just be there with him or her. Yeah? If your dog wants to sit on your lap, let him sit on your lap. Let him cuddle you. If he wants to be touched, if he wants to be handled by you and want to sit on your lap or be under your, if you have a small dog or even a big dog, if you're allowing your dog to be in your on your couch, let him be there. And if he wants to go underneath a carpet, a quilt or something, let him or her do that. That's okay. And yes, it's old-fashioned. It's old-fashioned to believe that we cannot comfort our dogs. They will not get more afraid of being comforted when they are afraid. If they are afraid of fireworks or thunder or things like that, if your dog is afraid, he comes to you, he wants you to comfort him, please do so. Please do. If it's possible, if you have friends or family with dogs that are not afraid of fireworks, it might help a dog that is afraid to be with other dogs that is not afraid. However, again, if your dog has a trauma, that's a different thing. A trauma is not very easy to just fix like that. So, but if you have a dog that is a little bit wary about the whole thing, it might help him to be with other dogs that don't really care. And again, really, it's true. It's true. If you are nervous, it will affect your dog. So you need to relax. You, the dog owner. If you have a dog that is reacting quite strongly to fireworks, not only the fireworks, it could be that you're having a dinner party or that it's different. The day is different. The evening is different. We are acting different. And that could be a bit scary to some dogs. So if your dog has been nervous and afraid for New Year's Eve, remember to relax the next day as well. Yeah? To relax, to reduce the stress level. Because if you are afraid for a longer period of time, then it takes a while to get to relax. So remember that your dog might need a lot of sleep for the next day or even couple of days. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but please, please, please keep your dog on leash. Depending again where you live and how the firework rules are, but here in Norway, where private people are setting up fireworks, even though it's not allowed, the next day and in the morning before, people still do. And what happens on the 31st of December and the 1st of January, a lot of dogs are lost because people go for a walk with their dogs off leash And then there's a firework, and your dog gets scared. And when it's scared, dog runs off. They lose more of the sense of where they are and so on. So they can really run off. And it's so sad. Every year, Facebook is full of really, really horrified owners who are missing their dog because it ran off. So I even, that is where I take my precaution, and that's on New Year's Day and on New Year, I always keep them on leash. If I'm pretty sure, if I'm really 100% sure in my head that they're not scared of fireworks, I might have them off lead, but with a long lead still attached, so it's easier for me to pick the lead up, so the dog won't run away. And I do that because they are dogs. They have instincts. You never know. So instead of risking anything, I am being a bit more strict with being on lead those 2 days. Okay. Yeah. And that was the page for that. So if your dog is afraid, do not ever let it off leash on your walk on New Year's Day or the day after. And if you're not sure, then anyhow, keep him on lead. And just very briefly, maybe I should have said this a long time ago, but remember, in this Christmas holidays, changes of routines can be stressful for some dogs. And we do have change of routines now. Maybe not as much as without the corona, but still things are different. And for some dogs, that might be stressful. Take care of feeding and nutrition. Don't give all leftovers to your dog, especially not chocolate and things that are poisonous to your dog. And a lot of Christmas food is quite fattening, not only to us, but really not good for the dogs either. I really don't mind letting my dogs taste food, different food, but I'm very careful what kind of food they get to taste. So it has to be pretty healthy. So make sure that your dog gets enough sleep and rest, just like you maybe need. And, you know, when things are stressful, I'm also talking about stress in a positive way. Don't always think of it as a negative way, but when we are preparing dinner for friends coming over or family, even though we're looking forward to the Christmas party, we might be a bit stressed. Yeah. So that makes us more tired and in need of more sleep and rest to be able to function normally again afterwards. And especially puppies and young dogs can find it hard to relax around family dinners and change of routine. So be aware of that as well. Okay, so this is a picture of a couple of years ago from our instructors that we have here in Norway for our dog courses. And I'm wishing, on behalf of all of us, a very happy new year. Okay, I'm going to remove the PowerPoint. Yes, I forgot to say this, but chewing is stress reducing. I have read and heard podcasts from, is it the RSPCA in England? Or was it some American, I can't remember who it was, but they've been doing studies in their own quite big shelters where they give the dogs something to chew, not huge bones. They were not able to afford that, but just something to chew for a few minutes every day. And that was an overall very helpful, stress reducing in the kennels, in the shelters. So I would recommend doing everything. If I had a kennel with 30 dogs for New Year's Eve, I would try to let them out as early as possible in the morning. Again, depending on the fireworks rules where you live. Put on some soft music. Be in the kennels. I would, of course, be there, but be with the dogs. Yeah. I would not mind trying the lavender plants, which I mentioned, because they're nice plants anyway. And I would definitely give them something to chew. I would give them something to chew 10 to midnight. Yeah, 10 to midnight. And mental activities there as well. You know, you can put liver pate on the sprinkles or the doors or walls or whatever you have in the kennels. So you can do a lot of mental activities in the cages in the shelter as well. And yes, a few of you do bathroom parties, probably because most bathrooms have no windows, so you can't see the lighting from the fireworks. And a bathroom could be a very nice place to be as well. Put on some nice music, and now we have our mobile, so you can listen to podcasts and music and so on there as well. I mean, we can only do the best we can do. These are the circumstances where we have to be inventive. So I'm not going to say that this is a rule or something, but if you really can't get your dog outside because it's too scared, I would let him pee inside on newspapers or something for that evening only. If your dog had to pee, if he really wants to pee, then I would let my dog pee on newspaper for that time only. You do not learn your dog any, your dog will not think that he can start peeing on newspapers after doing it once. Okay, so yeah, so puppy training pads or newspapers or something. Yeah. What if this happens and this happens? And that's kind of, what if fire happens? We need to put out the fire. That's how I think. What if you meet a dog and the other one attacks? What if there is, a car accident? What if there is a running mad person coming towards you? All things can happen. So in these situations, you have to do what you have to do. But in that case, for fireworks, continue walking or go home. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to wish you a happy new year now. I really wish you a nice Christmas holidays. Do like me, be on the couch, watch. I love these Christmas movies, Home Alone and Happy Feet and Ice. What is it called in English? Ice Age. The animated movies, love them. Take care of yourself and your dogs, and try to make the best out of New Year's with your dog. Okay. Okay. Have a very, very nice evening. Bye.